Hey, so I just came back from a 2 hour work, 2 hours walk on the beach, and it felt so good. I went to sleep at 6 a.m. Never happened to me usually, and I woke up at 1 p.m. So I barely didn't sleep. I went to sleep like at the time I usually wake up. And then I went this morning to the beach and I spent a long time on the beach and it felt so good. And I felt like I was expanding and I felt like I was anchoring freedom into my body. And lately, like the past 2 weeks and a half, 3 weeks, I felt very lost. And I'm going through a loss of something, of a part of me, of a part of my life, a part of something that I really loved. And for that, I feel like I don't know what I want, I don't know who I am anymore, and I feel lost. But I feel like it's just like this big piece of freedom that is given to me right now, and I'm just trying to deal with that. And as I was walking, every breath I took just felt so good. And I felt like I was becoming more and more free, and I had a lot of thinking, and now I decided to sit down and talk to my camera and share it, because I feel like if it can help just one person, if my story, if my thinking, if what I do can help even one person, I will keep sharing my voice, I will keep sharing my truth in every given moment. And this truth is very changing, and I'm just trying to navigate this life with you just like we all do. Okay, I wanted to talk more specifically about attachment. And I think when people think about attachment, and I used to be like this, that's why I'm saying that, I could see my attachment to physical things. I could see my attachment to people, and I could see attachment to situations and circumstances and this, but it was harder for me to see, to just acknowledge that I was also attached to some beliefs, some desires, some pieces of identity. And I think, it's normal. We are just fucking human. Again, I'm gonna keep repeating that again and again, but that's just okay, because this attachment is natural. We all experience that at some degrees, in some forms. We are all very different, but also pretty much the same. Like, we go through the same internal process, even though it expresses in many different forms. So I'm not holding any truth, I'm just speaking my own truth and sharing it here with you, to show you that you're not alone, and that this is just the process of life. And something that I learned in Vipassana, my 10-day silent retreat, is equanimity. And this is something, to be honest, that is super hard for me to apply on the daily. And I was talking to my friend, one of my friends that did Vipassana with me, and she asked me like, how are you dealing with everything that you're dealing now with Vipassana? Like, is it helping you to find more balance and equanimity and know that everything changes? Because that's, to me, that's the truth. Like, everything is always changing. There is nothing solid and still in nature, in the cosmos, and in ourselves. Like, it's always moving and always changing and evolving. And I know that I have for myself, and I see it also with my friends and with my clients and with family as well. I see it in many different people. We share that we tend to have attachment to things and to feelings in order to feel safe, in order to feel in control. And that's okay, that's so normal. Like, this sense of control over our lives and what is going on around is just what keeps us safe. This is so natural, and there is no judgment to have on that. This is natural. Doesn't mean it has to lead your life, doesn't mean it has to ruin your life for that, because I know it can also be very heavy, because in the end, when you're always in control, you're always resisting life. And I know it for myself, like it's very, very, very difficult for me to release control. And I always thought of myself being very flowy and very like, I go with the flow of life, because this is a good part of me. This is a good half of who I am. I can really go with my day, like eating just when I want to eat, and just like, oh, I want to write now, so I'm gonna write, or now I want to move and to dance, and I'm gonna dance. And I have this freedom also in my work where I can do this, and also, you know, going with the flow in terms of like, oh, right now I feel like I want to do this. Like, let's say like I'm more in a healing vibe, and now I'm more in a like working hard vibe, and like I just go with that. But at the same time, control shows differently in my life. I have a lot of control on who I am and how I present myself to other people. Basically, this video, I was like, okay, I feel so in touch with my truth right now. I feel so in touch with my heart, and I really want to share from that place. Like, I'm sick and tired of the bullshit online, and I'm sick and tired about my own bullshit, and I don't want to be teaching or sharing. I'm not teaching anything, by the way. I'm just sharing my truth, and I hope it helped people. That's all my intention. But I got super sick and tired of this, you know, sometimes like showing up because I feel like I have to, and because I feel like teaching people stuff, and that's not what I want. And even like this, I recorded like, I don't know, 4 minutes before that, and I was like not happy with it, so I started for that video, and now I'm not gonna change it whatsoever. Okay, you're going with me, bear with me on the process of having more freedom and being more authentic, basically. Coming back to the core of what I was trying to share is attachment to things is easy to see. Like, you're attached to your stuff that costs a lot of money, for example, like your phone, your laptop, stuff like this, where you imagine like if they break or you lost or someone steal it from you, you will be like freaking out. You will feel part of yourself is gone, or it's very scary. Or it can be also very emotional, like pieces of jewelry. I know that for myself. I'm very attached to some pieces of my jewelry because they have a story, and like I'm attached to things. It's quite easy to spot this thing and to really recognize that is attachment, because we feel like resistance when we think about losing them or not having them anymore. It's also quite easy, I don't know, like to see it in relationships when we are very attached to a person. I know I was like that in most of my relationship. I'm very attached to people, and sometimes, you know, there is the fear of losing them, and this is more attachment than true love, because I'm just so afraid of having this person that I love so much removed from my life. Easy to see it with friends, partner, family, where we feel like, oh, I'm super attached to that person. What's gonna happen to me if this person is not in my life anymore? It's quite also easy on your... No, it's not easy actually. To see it is with your physical appearance. Sometimes we are very attached to the way we look, and that's why I want to shave my hair for so long, in order to have this detachment of like my physical appearance and like what, you know, like femininity is associated with like long hair and stuff. And that's why this is a disaster now, because I need to learn it to do for myself now that my girlfriend left. But that's why I shaved this part as well. It was a big deal for me when I did it. It was about a year ago, a bit more. Because I was like, I will never ever do that, because my hair is everything. I love them so much. And because I was thinking that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. And I did it. It was like a very funny thing to do. I'm very happy I did it. And now I feel fucked up. Okay. But it's harder, at least for me, was harder to notice it in different aspects of my life, on some beliefs that I was very attached to, in some desires, and in some part of identity that I created. And I think as soon as you just put a light on it and you see it, that's okay. That's all you need to do, because you don't need to judge it, you don't need to change it. Just awareness, awareness, awareness. Like, you become aware of your attachment and you're like, okay, I'm attached because I'm human, and that's fucking normal, and that's okay. I'm not gonna let it drive my life. I'm not gonna let it like dictate everything that I do and how I behave, because this creates a lot of suffering, and I know it because I experienced it many times in my life, being so attached to some stuff and some beliefs that I was resisting. If there is someone in front of me not believing the same, not thinking the same, not sharing my values, I will feel resistance in my body, and it just creates suffering for myself, you know? So I really encourage you to just bring awareness, because as soon as you have awareness and you're like, as soon as you have awareness, the English, you put a light on an aspect of you, and then the door is open for acceptance. And I think this is what I wanted to share in the end, is like just more acceptance. And I really want my message to be around that, because that's the biggest fucking lesson that I'm learning right now, is to accept those part of myself I didn't want to accept before. And that's the work, that's my life work. You know, I've been doing that for the past 8 years, to accept who I was before and who I'm becoming right now. And it's just so fucking hard. Like, you know, sometimes I see like on my stories people from the past that I don't talk to anymore. They are watching my story, and I'm like, and it brings me back. Like, other than that, I don't think about the person I was before, but it brings me back to that person, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is crazy how much I changed and how much I evolved, and how much I made peace with pieces of myself. And because of that, that's why I choose this work, because I'm so passionate about this. And because if with my words and my stories and what I, you know, my revelations and what I share, you can find just a piece of comfort in your heart, that you're not fucking alone, that we are all going through the same thing. They just express in very different ways on the outside, but we are all going through the same fucking shit, and you're not fucking alone. Let me tell you, not fucking alone. And you're just a fucking human. You're just human, and just giving yourself that love and acceptance. I know it's fucking hard, because we try so hard, and that's the thing. We try to love ourselves better, we try to be better, and we try so hard that we don't see that is actually when you don't try anymore, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm just feeling very attached right now. I'm very attached to people around me. I'm very attached to my things. I'm very attached to my physical appearance, to my hair. I'm not ready to shave my hair yet. And that's okay. That's okay, because awareness is key, because from that awareness, then change can happen almost by itself. Because all you really have to do is bring this compassionate awareness. It's not like judgment. It's not like, oh, I see that on myself and this is bad and I need to change it. No. This is like, oh, I see that in myself. That's just a beautiful piece of my human part, of like my humanity. It just makes me human, and it's okay. And I'm just ready for the lessons. I'm ready for what life is teaching me, and I'm ready to let go. And it doesn't have to, you know, you don't have to shave your head to feel less attached with your physical appearance. You don't have to go alone, I don't know, in the mountain to detach from people, or you don't have to break up with people around you, whether it's friends or partners or everything, to feel that detachment. You just have to bring awareness to that feeling and see how it feels in the body. And every time it doesn't really feel good, just give yourself a bit more love. And I swear, this is where change happens, and you won't have to do anything. Just awareness. I send you so much love.